Hi everybody, my name is Ollie. I'm a doctor working in the NHS, and today I'm going to take you through some of my everyday carry essentials, which I think every doctor should have in their bag. So if you've just got a new work bag and you're looking for things to go in it, or you're perhaps looking for a gift for the newly qualified doctor in your life, or just to look after one that's already qualified, then hopefully this video will help. Now, the first thing that I want to talk about is pens. Now, obviously pens, not necessarily interesting, but there is a basic fundamental truth which we all need to agree on, and that truth is that nurses steal pens. This is a self-evident truth to anyone that has spent more than 10 minutes working as a doctor in the NHS. Doctors, therefore, have had to develop an evolutionary response, which has led to a variety of different solutions. I like to bring my own, and I choose pens that are comfortable and easy to use, but distinctive enough that I'm the only one that uses them, and therefore people on the ward know if they find a weird looking pen, it probably belongs to Dr. Ollie. Now, my favourite pens are these ones. They're made by a German company called Rotring, and I'm very sorry German speakers for probably butchering the name, but they're really characteristic. They have these hexagonal metallic bodies. They are very sturdy. So if I drop it or it gets knocked, it won't roll under a cabinet somewhere. I can easily find it. And I actually carry around the 3-in-1 version. So as I rotate the chassis here, you can see we have a black pen, a red pen, and a pencil. I do a lot of drawing and sketching when talking to patients to try and explain things, and it's really helpful if I'm trying to mark something or give feedback on a document. It's very useful for highlighting things in different colors. I also carry around a notebook in my bag, just a small one for copying down key ideas, tasks, things that I need to do, which get transcribed into my Notion later on. And a pro tip when thinking about pens is choose something that's not going to smudge. In most trusts where I've worked, we have to handwrite blood bottles a lot of the time, including things like group and saves when requesting blood for transfusion. If those labels get smudged, they are not being accepted by the lab, and that can be a disaster, especially if you've sent bloods off prior to surgery and there isn't going to be time to get another one. Do not leave it to chance. Get ink that won't smudge. Now, this next thing, most people carry around with them anyway, and that is headphones or earbuds. That's not new or interesting. Everyone has a pair of them probably on their person. But the really key feature here is multi-point audio. So if you're gonna buy some headphones or earphones, check that they have this. What does that mean? Well, beyond just making your commute more tolerable, which is what most of them are used for, multi-point audio means that you can connect a pair of headphones to multiple Bluetooth sources at the same time. That might be a smartphone, that might be a laptop, a computer, another device that uses Bluetooth. But the point is that the working day of a doctor is extremely chaotic a lot of the time, and just as part of normal duties, you are often expected to be in 2, 3, 4 different places at once. That is, you are scheduled to be in multiple places at once, which might be on a ward round, in clinic, in theatre, in an MDT, in an M&M meeting. So being able to have your Bluetooth headphones connected to, say, both your laptop and your smartphone at the same time and not have to faff around moving them between devices is a real time saver, and it's certainly something I've noticed. Now, the third thing I want to talk about on my list is ArcLight. This is a little device I've had a lot of mileage out of as a neurosurgery SHO for the last year. It's basically a one-stop shop for a lot of the basic tests that you might need to do in the acute medical or emergency medical environment. Certainly good enough to make a quick review and do some decision making before sending on for further assessment. It's got lights for eye assessment, a blue light for fluorescein staining and corneal abrasions. It's a good enough ophthalmoscope for a basic eye examination and certainly visualizing discs. I've seen papilledema with this thing. But that's not everything. The case it comes with has a load more accessories, including a tape measure, a docking stand, a visual acuity chart, attachments to turn it into an otoscope. So to me, if you're carrying around a pen torch anyway, which lots of us are, it's taking up space in your pocket, you might as well have a multi-use device in its place, and something that can let you do a lot of assessments pretty quickly. If you are very money conscious like I am, hospital coffee is going to be one of the biggest daily outlays for many of us. And I'm from the north too, so paying a large amount of money for a drink of any description, let alone hot bean water, feels like some sort of betrayal of my ancestors. But my proposed solution, that is a thermos flask, a mug, a hot water bottle, whatever hot water drink receptacle that you like, so that you can still get the caffeine content, the social interaction, the comfort of a hot drink after the ward round with your colleagues or on a night shift or whenever you need it. It's a much cheaper, sustainable way if you bring your own flask. You can either make it in the morning and take it with you when you leave, or just put some instant coffee in the bottom before you go to work and fill it up from one of the magic hot water dispensers that are on every ward. Or put something more interesting in it. I've got some Turkish coffee here I picked up while I was in Istanbul. These sachets are not dirt cheap, but they get you a really nice, interesting drink for much less than a hospital coffee. Personal recommendation, this stuff, Lift Lemon Tea. They do a peach one as well. It is like hot watery crack. The next item I want to talk about is a high wattage power bank. Now, in the age of smartphones, smartwatches, smart devices, loads of people are carrying power banks around. Again, this is not new. This is particularly important when traveling, or you're perhaps doing a series of on-call shifts, or you're going to and from work when the weather is bad or transport might be difficult. I think it's really important to have a battery on hand in case you need to make an emergency phone call or rearrange plans when you might not have access to a power socket. However, a really key limiting factor of many power banks that you will buy, while they might have lots of cables attached or the battery storage number might be really high, the capacity, the actual wattage that they're capable of delivering might be quite low. And what that actually determines is which types of devices they will be able to charge and how quickly. Because for something like a smartwatch or a smartphone, they actually require very little wattage, power delivery to push charge into the cells. But the average battery bank won't have anything like enough power to push to something like a laptop or a small games console, something like a Steam Deck or a Nintendo Switch. These devices often have a minimum wattage required to charge them, and that's why you need to look at the fine print to see what wattage your battery bank can actually supply. This little one is capable of providing 36 watt, which is enough in a pinch to charge a small laptop, something like a MacBook Air. When I was unable to get to work one weekend on call because of train engineering problems, my laptop was dead, the power sockets weren't turned on in the little waiting room, which meant that I couldn't log in remotely to Epic, our patient record system, and help my colleagues that were at work while I was stuck well outside London with no ability to help. That was what made me buy this more powerful battery bank, and now in a pinch I can recharge my laptop wherever I am. And then the last one is a comfortable shoe. In my view, this is the single best investment that a new doctor or a doctor or healthcare worker of any kind can actually make. Particularly at the foundation level, you might very genuinely be running to arrest calls and moving quickly to go and see unwell patients. You need to look after your feet and your soles, just like you would look after any other part of your body. That means something hard wearing with really supportive soles. And personally, I think something quite inconspicuous, something that's not going to draw the eyes of the wrong person, that will pull you up on some abstract dress code that you've never seen but apparently exists somewhere in a corner of the intranet. Just get something plain black, unobtrusive, unless you are an anaesthetist or an acute medic, in which case the louder the better. So there you have it, guys, some of my recommendations for everyday essentials for doctors. Let me know what you think. I'd be really excited to see what you consider an essential everyday carry that should be in everyone's bag. Have I missed something? Do you disagree with something I've said? Let me know down in the comments. Take care, and I will see you in another video. Bye-bye.